Leaders think about the new federal courthouse after they got a tour of it today. We have reaction. Our team coverage begins right now on the evening edition.
I'm working hard, lots of therapy, speech therapy, physical therapy, and yoga teaching. I'm still fighting to make the world a better place, and you can too.
Those were the words of former Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords this afternoon, more than 3 years after the Tucson shooting massacre that claimed the lives of 6 people, including Judge John M. Roll. Today, the U.S. District Courthouse in Yuma was dedicated in his honor. Thank you for joining us here on News 11. I'm John Archuleta.
And I'm Irene Cruz. Distinguished senators, congressmen, and judges made their way to Yuma today for the dedication of the John M. Roll Courthouse.
For more on this afternoon's ceremony, we turn now to News 11's Michael Coliani, who joins us live from outside the courthouse in Yuma. He begins our team coverage. Michael.
John, Irene, good evening. Now, while John McCain and Jeff Flake were here along with a number of Arizona congressmen, it was Gabrielle Giffords who stole the show as many took the stage to commemorate the life of John M. Roll. It was certainly a who's who of distinguished politicians and judges at the Pivot Point Conference Center in Yuma, where the dedication of the John M. Roll Courthouse took place Thursday afternoon. U.S. Senators John McCain and Jeff Flake, along with Congressmen Grijalva, Gosar, and Barber, all spoke about the incredible and humble life led by their friend, Judge John M. Roll. Roll was tragically killed during the deadly shootings in Tucson in January 2011. Former Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords also spoke about her dear friend and the legacy he has left behind.
Like John Roll, get involved with your community. Be a leader, an example. Be passionate, be courageous, do your best.
Senator Flake and Congressman Grijalva say the former judge fought hard for justice to be served in Yuma.
We needed a courthouse here, and that's what he pushed for, and it's great to see it come to fruition.
I worked with him, he was dedicated to it, and if anybody deserved a courthouse being named after him, it's him.
Senator McCain believes the new courthouse will save Arizona taxpayers millions of dollars.
It'll save so much money for the taxpayers because people in now no longer have to be transported all the way up to Tucson for these trials. It brings justice to Yuma rather than bringing Yuma to justice.
He also tells us Judge Roll was a humble and modest man and is proud of the legacy that his name will leave behind for the people of Yuma.
Judge Roll made it his top priority because of the lack of the judicial capabilities here, and that I think it's very appropriate that it be named after Judge Roll. But I'm also sure if he were here, he would be adamantly opposed to it because he was a man of great modesty and humility.
Several members of the former judge's family were also on hand for today's event, including his 3 sons, who got up on stage and spoke about their father's legacy. Now, we're also been told that the courthouse is now up and running and ready to serve the citizens of Yuma County. Reporting live from the John M. Roll Courthouse in Yuma, I'm Michael Coliani, News 11. John, Irene, back to you.
All right, Michael, thank you very much. After the U.S. General Services Administration dedicated the John M. Roll U.S. Courthouse this afternoon, they gave everyone a tour of the inside.
Yeah, that's right. News 11's Heather Yako joins us live also at the courthouse and continues our team coverage with those details. Heather.
Hi, John and Irene. Today, the U.S. General Services Administration dedicated the John M. Roll U.S. Courthouse, as you can see right behind me. There were over 400 people in attendance, and among those 400 were U.S. Senators John McCain and Jeff Flake. Now, the John M. Roll U.S. Courthouse reinterprets any updates the classical American courthouse while adapting to the southern Arizona climate. utilizing 21st century durable materials and technology. The courthouse displays a bronze bust honoring the late Judge Roll, created by Arizona artist Nicholas Burke. A public art installation by John Bisbee entitled Lion Dandies is a metal orb sculpture and completely made from iron railroads and nails, and was designed to reflect the Yuma's historic ties to the railroad. Senator John McCain says that this courthouse not only has the latest technology, but going to be a model for others.
It's very environmentally adaptable. It's an energy saver. It is the latest technology, and so it's probably an example for other federal or state or local construction. So I think it's going to be a model. It's a great work of architecture. It'll be here forever, and it's an opportunity for Yuma and Yuma County to have its own place where justice is served.
The total cost of the courthouse is $34 million and a little over 56,000 gross square feet. Now, they said their main concern was to just make sure that they didn't have it like a traditional courthouse, and make sure that they had all those updates and updated technology in the courtroom. Now, I must say, everyone that did take a tour of it this afternoon definitely liked what they saw. Reporting live in Yuma, Heather Yako, News 11. John, Irene, back to you.
All right, Heather, thank you very much for that report. Well, this morning, Gabby Giffords wrote an op-ed letter featured in the Arizona Republic honoring Judge Roll. Giffords said, "When I think about what I want the rest of my life to be, I think about Judge Roll, a man of family, faith, and foundational love for our country. He spent his life in the service of others, and then he died as a hero." She also went on to add, "Today his name goes on the new federal courthouse in Yuma. It's a fitting honor for a man of such high achievement and sacrifice. I hope the courthouse can also be a beacon for all those who seek to dedicate themselves to service and justice, and a reminder of how we should all live." We will have continuing coverage on the Judge Roll Courthouse dedication tonight on Nightside at 10.
Well, several congressional leaders for Arizona are calling for a full investigation into allegations that up to 40 veterans in the state died while waiting for medical appointments. Republican U.S. Senators John McCain and Jeff Flake, along with Democratic Representatives Raul Grijalva and Kristen Sinema, joined in that effort today. The lawmakers have called the allegations disturbing. The chairman of the House Committee on Veterans Affairs says the veteran deaths could be related to delays in health care. Phoenix VA healthcare system officials have asked for an external review by the Inspector General and says it will address any problems quickly. One update now on the incident where a 96-year-old woman was killed by a motorized scooter earlier this year.
The son of the woman is seeking justice, and the Yuma County Attorney's Office is now taking action. 78 days since a 17-year-old driver on a motorized scooter killed 96-year-old Lucienne Sears. The Yuma County Attorney's Office has now filed a complaint against the driver. She'll have to appear in court in May. Sears' son, Jay, still wants justice.
I know it's going to take time, but I believe a beginning point would be an arrest.
According to the complaint, the teen is now accountable for multiple items, including negligent homicide and aggravated assault.
The girl's arrested and even released and has to go through the same process as everybody else. That would be justice.
Back in February, Lucienne Sears was walking her poodle on 25th Drive when the teen ran into her on the scooter. The girl had apparently been drinking and was not even driving a scooter she owned. She did not own a motorcycle license either.
And it seems to be getting passed back and forth. The prosecutor says they don't make arrests. It's up to the police. The police says it's been turned over to the prosecutor.
We do want to note we did misquote Sears in an interview earlier this week. Sears says he does not want the teen behind bars, and that is up to the court to decide. He does, however, want the girl arrested.
Mother's Day's coming up. She'll be with her mom. I won't.
Sears also says the community has been very supportive, and we will continue to bring you the latest updates on the story as they become available.
A 28-year-old woman is hit by a car along Interstate 8 and left there with major injuries. Now, California Highway Patrol needs your help finding the suspected vehicle involved. It happened early this morning just after 5 east of State Route 115. Officers are looking for a small red sedan that might have been the car that hit the woman on her right side. It kept driving west on I-8, and anyone with information should contact CHP.
We're feeling a touch of warmth on this Thursday, but it could give way to far more different feels as we move into the weekend.
News 11's Rob Fram joins us now from the Weather Center with a first look at our outside conditions. Hey, Rob.
Well, John and Irene, you guys use lots of hair gel, so you're going to be okay. But for the rest of us, it's going to be some rough hair days ahead. Yeah, we got lots of wind coming our way. Of course, we'll get into that in more detail a little bit later on, as you can see with your live perspective, courtesy of your Skycam. You got Telegraph Pass just to the east of the foothills. Here's what we're looking at wind-wise at this time. Not too shabby by any means, but then, things are going to get pretty strong in that area here in the next couple of days. Here's what's going on in regards to your temperatures. We're ranging it from high-end 80s to low-end 90s across the board. For the near future, again, the wind get windier. We're talking about Friday as well as your Saturday. We'll tell you why coming up in my forecast in just a bit. Back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Rob. Imperial County is getting the first cutting-edge system that will help in alerting residents before a big earthquake hits the valley.
It's the first of its kind in the U.S., and the money will be presented tomorrow. News 11's Milrose Bosco has the story.
Imperial County will be the first in the nation to get an early warning regional earthquake detection system. Senator Ben Hueso will be presenting a check for nearly $200,000 to help fund the system.
That will allow people some very precious seconds, maybe even a minute, to prepare for an earthquake if they're in a school or a hospital or a place where lots of people gather.
An earthquake fault line runs through the valley. This system was envisioned after a 7.2 quake rocked Imperial County in 2010.
I'm very proud of the fact that working with the county, we were able to secure this funding to make sure that Imperial is prepared. We know
the system is capable of detecting a 5.0 quake or larger 30 seconds before the earth starts shaking. The system then alerts appropriate personnel and first responders to take action.
We want to make sure people are ready when a big earthquake hits, and hopefully with this technology, they will be prepared.
In El Centro, Milrose Bosco, News 11.
Congressman Juan Vargas is fighting to keep Imperial County Airport operating. Today, the Department of Transportation announced the airport is on a list of airports that could possibly lose federal funding under the Essential Air Service program. In 2012, the president signed the Federal Aviation Administration Modernization and Reform Act that requires subsidized communities to maintain an average of 10 passenger planes per service day. The Imperial County Airport is reaching 9.5 enplanements, falling short of that requirement. Vargas says if funds are cut, it will greatly damage the area's already struggling economy. He says it's unjust for the airport to be removed from the program because of a slow year.
Well, up next on the evening edition, a group of OSUS Marines returns to Marine Corps Air Station Yuma. A look at their welcoming homecoming. Stay with us. You're watching News 11, where news comes first.
Live from KYMA Studios, this is News 11's Evening Edition, your #1 source for news in the desert Southwest.
Welcome back, everyone. About 90 Yuma-based Marines with Marine Attack Squadron 214 arrived home from deployment. The homecoming took place on Wednesday. The Marines were on an 8-month deployment. Friends and family waited patiently for their loved ones to come back home. Caitlin Salter decided to surprise her dad and sing the national anthem as the Marines walked in.
My dad's retiring this year, and this is going to be his last deployment. So I wanted to make this last deployment special for him and for all the soldiers that are coming home.
Caitlin's dad says he was shocked to walk in and hear his daughter singing. The Marines we spoke with say they're happy to be back home and thank everybody for the support.
A Yuma County supervisor has been appointed as the chair for the Immigration Reform Task Force Committee. Lenore Lorona Stewart accepted the appointment from the National Association of Counties today. Last year, Stewart was picked to serve as the vice chair for the same task force. As the chairperson, she will guide regional leaders in developing policy and delivering the county government message on immigration reform to the administration, Congress, and the public. Stewart may also be called to Washington, D.C. to testify before Congress on the issue.
Well, still to come on the evening edition, an AWC Matador pitcher wins a special conference honor. We'll tell you what it is coming up in sports.
And coming up in your weather forecast, again, we've been telling you about the winds making a comeback, but how great are they going to be? We'll let you know right after this. We're so glad to have you back with us. Well, it's been another beautiful day here in the desert Southwest with a touch more warmth. And here's what we're looking at. As far as your live perspective is concerned, we have Telegraph Pass just to the east of the foothills. Here's what's going on with your watches and warnings in the very near future. This isn't happening now, so we can take a deep breath, but as we get on to the next few days, we will start to see red flag warnings pop up, especially along the Colorado River Valley, and it's not beyond the realm of possibility for this to expand or to get wind advisories in the area either. The reason being because we're expecting some pretty stiff winds coming our way. We'll get into that in more detail in just a bit, but here's what we're seeing wind-wise today. We've seen winds in the neighborhood of 7 to 10 miles an hour, so nothing really to write home to mom about today, but just wait the next couple of days and then we'll start to get uppity with the winds, but certainly not the case right now. 90 degrees outside in the Yuma area. We're checking in about 89 in El Centro at this time, keeping things relatively dry as well as far as your lower level atmosphere is concerned. 92 is what we got to for your daytime high, so jumping up about 4 to 5 degrees today as opposed to what it was this time yesterday. 91 in El Centro, 58 to kind of start things off, and here's what's going on with your regional water vapor satellite. Nothing in our peripheral as of right now, but you got to look further to the west, that cloud coverage, and of course we do have a system behind that as well. And speaking of which, here it is. You kind of see it over the jet stream as it takes it a little bit of a descent, and this guy's got some good size to it and lots of strength as well, because it's going to be generating lots of wind coverage for us here in the desert Southwest as it moseys on inland by the time we get on into your Friday as well as your Saturday. So what are we talking about wind speed-wise, Robert? Well, we're talking about gusts between 35 to 50 miles an hour between Friday and Saturday. So that's what we got to look forward to, not to mention the cooler air that it's going to be bringing, at least for a limited time. Here's what's happening as you take to the roads this weekend. If you're bouncing out of town, bounce very carefully. The reason why I'm saying that is because there will be widespread increased chances of rainfall beyond the desert Southwest, especially as you go into the mountains, going to San Diego. Chances really good come Friday night and will lessen come Saturday, but there'll be significant chances in Vegas and Phoenix as well, not to mention the fact that wind will be pretty widespread, not just confined to the desert Southwest within the next couple of days. But tonight we're talking mostly clear, 64 for your overnight temperature in Yuma. We'll check in the low end 60s in El Centro. And looking ahead to your Friday, TGI wind is the name of the game, because we are going to get up to 22 mile per hour wind gusts in Yuma. We're going to up the ante even more as you go further westward. In El Centro, we're talking 35 mile per hour wind gusts. So you got to be extremely careful as you take to the roads, especially as you get on into your Saturday, because that's where the bulk of the wind is going to be taking place. Not to mention the temperatures getting down to 77 degrees, which is a far cry from what we're used to this time of year, but we'll take the temperatures. It's just the wind that's the tricky part. And of course, beyond that, we start to go up and up some more temperature-wise into the high-end 90s. We're going to have your sportscast coming up right after this. A local prep athlete wants to test his talents down under. Welcome back, everyone. Antelope Rams wrestling star Cody Fry is fundraising for a shot at representing Arizona in this summer's Down Under Sports tournaments in Auckland, New Zealand. The Antelope Junior has already raised $2,000 and needs 3 more by the deadline of June 2nd. This season, he's earned an impressive 42-8 individual competition record on the mat in the 170-pound weight class. Fry looks forward to the challenge of just making it to New Zealand.
I really want to go, and I guess it's good to say that I have set my goal to do this because, I mean, $4,000, $5,000 is a lot of money to raise, but we're getting there, and I'm really excited.
Now, if you'd like to donate to Cody's cause, you can give Kim a call at that phone number right there on your screen, or you can log on to downundersports.com if you want to donate online. Coming soon, we'll bring you an update on Cody's fundraising progress. Well, when AWC starting pitcher Tanner McAninch played clutch baseball against ACCAC opponent Cochise last week, it didn't escape the attention of conference pundits. Well, for the first time this season, the freshman hurler has won his first Conference Pitcher of the Week honor. McAninch tossed a one-hitter in 7 innings against Cochise, striking out 5 batters and not allowing a single run to score. He now holds a 5-3 overall record. Now the Mats have to sweep Scottsdale at home this Saturday and have at least a shot at the Region 1 playoffs. And finally, the Arizona Diamondbacks finishing their 4-game series with the Chicago Cubs. Top of the first, D-backs striking early. Miguel Montero ropes this one in the corner off of Edwin Jackson. Gerardo Parra comes around to make it a 1-0 score. D-backs up 2-1. Mike Bolsinger gets himself an insurance run with a dribble to left, scoring Tony Campana. Just like that, 3-1 Snakes. Now we go bottom 5. Luis Valbuena at the plate, and Valbuena practically frozen with a strike 3 for Mike Bolsinger. He would go 6 2/3 with 7 strikeouts to get his first big league win. This is the second time Arizona has won 2 in a row this season. Hopefully there'll be more to come there. All right, we're done with this round of sports. We're going to go ahead and send it to break, and we'll have more coming up right after this.
Welcome back, everyone. Here's what you can expect to see here on NBC later tonight. At 7, it's the 1-hour season finale of Parks and Recreation. With life-altering changes about to take place, the Parks Department finally puts on the Unity concert. Then at 8, the best of Saturday Night Live shorts from 39 years. Don't miss all-star favorites, including Lazy Sunday, Wes Anderson Horror Trailer, The Real Housewives of Disney, and much more.
And there are several other stories we're working on for Nightside. Allegations that 40 veterans in Arizona died while waiting for medical appointments have led to Congress leaders calling for a full investigation. We'll have details. Be sure to join us back here for that story and much more tonight on Nightside at 10.
All right, well, Minions will be taking over Cibola High School this weekend, and those Minions are part of the Jazz of Yuma's latest production, The Joy of Despicable Minions. Now, the characters from the popular movie Despicable Me made an appearance on this morning's Sunrise show and busted some Minion moves for News 11's Madeline Hunt. Now, they even got her feet moving and showed her a couple of dance steps from the show.
The director says the show features all original choreography they've been practicing since January for the big night. So be sure to come out and support them Friday and Saturday night from 7 to 9 at the Cibola High Auditorium.
Think Madeline will perform too?
Who knows? Maybe she'll make a special guest appearance. All right, folks, we'll see you tonight on Nightside.
Bye, everyone.
It was like she was